coins pumping and coins dumping. It feels like the days of the wild, wild west here at UTG over the last few days. Why is that happening? What's going on with BTC, FLTC, XRP? Will things get better for Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple against the SEC? We're soon to find out, but certainly if you want to know what's going on in the world of UTG and the coins we're looking at this week, stick around and we'll get into it. Yes, thank you so much for joining us. Tex here, solo round. Ads, enjoy your night tonight, brother. Much deserved night off. If you're picking up what we're putting down, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that alert icon so you get instant updates when we go live for our market updates like this, or release brand new content that we'll be doing a couple of times this week. Diving back to my roots this week in an old school free indicator that one of the first ones I ever used when I entered this market. And when I started pairing that with moving averages that I guess I'm a little bit more well known for promoting lately, even I surprised myself and I was like, damn, this is a killer little strategy. So one that I've kind of started adopting a little bit. So stick around and I'll share that in the next 24 to 48 hours with you. So for you beginner traders, that's a really cool little free trading strategy that I'm going to release for you this week. So I hope you enjoy that. And thank you for all the feedback on the great, the moving averages video we recorded recently. That it was really great to see all your great feedbacks and DMs that I got from that. So a very sincere thank you for taking the time to watch that and to make your comments and leave your thoughts on that. So let's get into this. Bitcoin at the moment, just kind of floundering. There's nothing really too telling of the direction of where it might head at the moment. We made this this high here at around that 66k level. We came down and had that pretty savage little 4-hour wick here where we front ran this demand zone. And at the moment, again, just kind of headed back towards consolidating between that 63.5 and that 58 sort of level. Even though we've got similar sorts of plays to the left-hand side here, I'm not entirely sure that we will see this move. I'd love to be proven wrong, but maybe what I would expect to see would maybe be either a very close retest of this previous low, or at least down towards this demand zone. There's not a great deal there yet. Even though we're consolidating above our MA cluster, I'm not super confident yet that even if we did head back up towards this level that we would smash through it. We'd maybe sort of see a double top there and then a continuation of this consolidation between these key levels here. But if we certainly head back down towards this 55k zone, I would expect that to hold pretty confidently. I don't think that we would see dramatic moves back down to 48, 50k. But one thing that we do need to be mindful of, especially, is that we've not really seen like huge, big 30%, 40% dips like what we've seen for a little bit of time since the 11th of May, when we came back down here and had this move to the downside. It was like 25%, which was the start of September. So we've gone the whole month of October, and now we're into November. We've not really seen like big smashes to the downside. So I'm still conscious of that. So it's always in the back of my mind, and I'm not a perma bear by any means. I'm just rational and understanding that these things can play out very quickly and very violently at times. So it's always wise to have a little bit of fear there on the side, just in case we get these big, deep 40%, 35% moves to the downside where everything will crash. And then, of course, things will recover. As we know, we don't see things head down forever, but certainly this sort of action is always in the back of my mind. So I don't want to be that guy that says we head up, we head down, I don't know where we head. But for the moment, let's just consolidate and let alts do their thing, and see what happens. So let's play this out and see what happens. All right, ETH. So ETH following the arrows pretty well from last week. We had a nice touch on this demand zone, this golden pocket zone right here between this 50 and 61.8, where we've headed back up and almost touched the arrow to the absolute dollar, where we made that new all-time high on Ethereum. Thank you, Vitalik and Ethereum gods, for that one. That was really cool. So still at the moment, I think I'm seeing a little bit more strength in ETH than what I am on BTC at the moment. Certainly going to the daily time frame, looking a little bit better than BTC, but still Steamroller looking a little bit kind of oversold at this particular period. But from an MA standpoint, we're still confidently sitting above our 10, 20, and 50 EMA. So unless we get a break back down below this, let's say 4.2 level, I'm not overly concerned about big moves to the downside for ETH. And if that were to occur, I'll simply just continue buying more as I have been, and dollar cost averaging. We talk about dollar cost averaging almost every every single session that we do this, and it has worked every single time that we've mentioned it. So that's not to blow our own horns. It's just saying that it's just a proven strategy that works. You just buy little bits on the way down, bring your average buy price down, and continue to make a little bit more ETH on each and every dip, because ultimately we know where. And this is not financial advice by any means, but Q4 historically has been very good for the crypto market. We know where ultimately where cryptocurrency is headed in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 years. So that's where you've kind of got to put your investor mindset on and go, all right, if I can pick up Ethereum now at $4,800 or $4,100 or $3,800, is that really so bad if it dips down another few $100 when this time next year we might be looking at double that price or triple that price? It's not. So stash it away, and leave it for a rainy day sort of thing. But a lot more scalpers in the Discord these days. So, even for these volatile moves on the smaller time frames, this is heaven for you guys. XRP, Brad Garlinghouse, as we mentioned last week, coming out saying the conversations between he and the SEC are positive at the moment. The SEC is playing a little bit nicer than what they anticipated. I guess from the original date where the SEC was shitting on Ripple and Brad and talking about XRP as a security and trying to demonize and all that sort of stuff. A lot has happened in the crypto space. We've got EFTs, we've got the positivity around the crypto space, a lot more coins coming out and things being debunked that the SEC were demonizing previously that are now sort of moving a little bit more in the crypto world's favor. So, again, XRP, I would be watching that very, very closely on the chance that Brad comes out or the Ripple Foundation comes out and says, we've quashed this with the SEC. I think it would be game over then for XRP. Going back to my chart here, we're looking at ads for consistency because we look at this every single week. I've had this drawn up for quite a little bit of time now and shared this openly inside the Discord. We had a rejection off this 114 level and have now had a retest of this diagonal. And don't demonize my diagonals by any means. They're subjective, and that's why I don't really like using them. But this has been here for a little bit of time now. So I'm anticipating if we get a break above this 114 level and a strong close above, I would expect continuation to the upside. And then certainly if we break above our gravy cloud at 118, there's very little structure holding that back towards that sort of that $1.30, $1.40 mark. And the catalyst for that would certainly be an SEC brushing of the whole situation. Unfortunately, XRP is still quite correlated to BTC. So if we had a move to the downside on BTC, I would expect XRP to follow, maybe a retest of this 50 EMA and this level again here at around $1.02. But for myself, as long as we keep making these this structure within this parallel channel, I'll be pretty happy. So let's continue to see what happens with XRP. Don't count it out at the moment. Let's have a look at LTC. Last week, Ads and I were having a little bit of a friendly debate, which I absolutely love when we sort of disagree with one another, one saying up, one saying down. Honestly, I can't remember who was saying up or who was saying down at this point, but certainly we had this little crash wick to the downside at 171, again front-running this demand zone, which would have been a brilliant little buy had you have picked that up at that point. You'd be sitting pretty at around 13% at the moment. So again, I'm not seeing a ton of strength in LTC personally at the moment. Certainly I want to see a break above 202 and ultimately a break above 210 where I would expect a move continuation to the upside, but as it stands right now, again, kind of floundering following BTC's movement. So LTC disappointing me a little bit as of late. I still do believe that LTC will have its time in Q4. There's going to be a little bit of a run for that, but man, come on. Come on. You're making me look a fool. So Charlie, hurry up and do something, man, please. BNB USD has hit through this zone, and if we were looking at this again, the high value or the high probability trades that I shared, I think probably 2 months ago or something inside the Discord. I think it was like 3 high probability trade setups. This is a high probability trade setup every single time where we're squeezed in towards this previous high level here and we have a pop above. So as long as we can hold this supply zone, now turn sort of demanded around that sort of that 510 level, I'm pretty confident on BNB continuing to the upside. And certainly we're making a very nice ascending sort of structure here on BTC and not a great deal holding that back towards 60 at 75. And when BNB runs, it rips. Like it's really got a mind of its own these days, and we've just had a gravy cross. So if we can see a hold of this level, I think BNB will continue doing its thing. So again, look to that for strength of alts at the moment as well. Other coins that I'm looking at this week as well, OMG, USD or BTC, whatever it is, USD it is for me. Again, I've said this so many times, it has a mind of its own. When BTC is floundering or doing whatever it does, it just runs really for no reason. It's just one of those coins, as is Theta, which I've traded a few times this week and had some nice returns from that. VThor is another one that I'm looking at as well. BTT is another one that I've traded. Chiliz is another one that I've traded. Chiliz part of the metaverse, as is Mana. So look at and just give me 1 second. I'm going to bring this up. And I spoke about it this yesterday or today inside the Discord. So these are your metaverse coins by market cap. So there's a number of them in here, 50 odd. But these are the coins that I feel you really need to be paying attention to over the next 3-4 weeks. Added Axie Infinity 100%. Sand had a good run this week. Starlink, I believe, had a pretty decent run. Look at that, a 248% 7-day return, 110, 40, 250%, 375 for Cube, 315 for Vemp. Some of these coins are not even ones that I've heard of before, but honestly, if you've got the ability to just spare a few moments each day to set up some trades or to have a bit of a punt, you don't need to be in very deep positions. You don't need to be trading outside of your capabilities. But have, tight to semi-tight stops. Set your take profit levels. We see coins. VThor, just as I mentioned a moment ago, just did like 25% in the one candle. Mana just did stupid. Mona, did stupid numbers in the last little bit. Shib, we've seen some stupid numbers, not part of the metaverse ecosystem, but there is so many opportunities at the moment on low cap coins, and that's where some true dollars can be made. Again, this is not this is not financial advice by by any means, but again, there's some rife market opportunities at the moment, and I think you would be doing yourself a disservice if you just didn't have a little bit of a play or have a bit of a shoot at it. So again, not financial advice, but the market is giving you some opportunities at the moment. So so that's it. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive into these top metaverse coins by market cap in this week's fundamental video, and I'm going to explain to you some of the ones with some charts that I'm looking at the moment. Axie Infinity, certainly one that I'm looking at the moment. AXS, definitely. Fundamentally very, very good. But I won't give too much more away. That'll be filmed and recorded and shared for you on YouTube this week. So again, text for the solo round. Ads, enjoy your night, brother. I love you. Have a great night. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Hit that subscribe button and that alert icon so you get updates every time we go live. And I look forward to seeing you in the next UTG market ep. So take care. Bye-bye.